couldn't get my camera to go sideways. You know, like that. It's not locked or anything. What's StreamYard doing? Oh well. That's a weird look. You get the. Hang on a sec. I can lift my phone up here fine, huh? You are first cement shoes. How are you, mate? All right, you can see less of the breaker, but it's not letting me do that. You know, the roly. Anyway, I guess this is it. We're going to the house of Kay. I was going to put it off till tomorrow, and then I'm like, no, do it today, and then you can be home tomorrow and get stuff done. Going to the house of Kay, aka Kmart. Australian Kmart's very cool compared to US Kmart. Hey, Green Eyes. Hey, congrats on choosing a Mighty Chef. You're going to love it. Just been to the gym. I can see more chat with the phone up this way, but whenever I see Green Eyes, I want to go, Green Eyes. Oh, whoa. But yeah, good choice. Because I spent ages researching and reading up and reading reviews, and the fact that you said it's sold out in heaps of places is telling, I reckon. I can't fault it. There are a couple of recipes that I add an extra minute or two of cooking time, but that's more my preference for things a bit on the more cooked side than the undercooked. Not undercooked, but you know, like I like my food to have personality. If you cook it for a couple more minutes, it gets browner. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I found mine on Amazon on sale at the time, and I think I mentioned to you, like it was $200 including postage, and postage was like $70 or something. Understandably, it's not an overly heavy thing, but you know, posting something of even that size, it's not going to be cheap. So I'd put it on your wish list on Amazon for sure, and set it so that you get an alert. Because I can't remember what they were full price, but yeah, I'm going to show some of my dehydrated fruits one day, but it takes 8 hours for to dehydrate, so I won't live. Imagine that. Imagine if I just sliced up some apples, put them in my slow cooker for on the dehydration setting. And then just talk for 8 hours while they dehydrated. 100's probably what it was when I got it on sale. Obviously, I grabbed it at 200. Like it was a bargain. It was one of those flash 24-hour Amazon sales. It just was a fluke. I've been researching quite a few different air fryers and had narrowed it down to that one and another one. And the other one was a little bit more expensive on the full price thing. But then I jumped onto Amazon and they were both like slashed. And so the other one was still a little bit, not way more expensive than I didn't consider it. But I actually went onto YouTube and watched a video, I think, of a couple of people using them and giving feedback. And that helped me make the choice. Oh yeah, the semi-dried tomatoes. I haven't done them yet. Just got to pull over. I just got a message from a friend. I'm just got to make sure that they don't need me to do something ASAP. Because if they do, I'm going to have to log off. Some friends and I are going to Sydney in a few weeks, and we're finalising flights and stuff. And I might need to head home. Oh no, cool. After 7, I'll just send him a little message. That'll be before batshit too. Okay. Perfect. I'll just give his little message a love heart. All right. Yeah, I definitely like recommendations and reviews, especially for, I mean, you know, big ticket items. Like, you don't want to spend $400 on something only for it to end up being shit. Because, I mean, even just posting it back would be a pain in the ass. Well, I'm pretty sure that was something too with Amazon. Like the return policy was one of the reasons I went with them as well. Because I think you just, like, if it's faulty or whatever, you know, they just do like a lot of companies do now, and they just email you the label, and then they send a courier to pick it up from your home. And the returns policy was part of it too. But then, you know, I was planning on paying full price for it, because another one I'd been looking at was about $6.99. So to me, 400 sounded like a bargain at the time. And then this flash sale happened, and I'm like, giddy up. Especially if, you know, they bring out a newer model. You often get the superseded model. But in the meantime, Green Eyes, while you're waiting, if you haven't got one already, hey Joey, we're going to the house of Kmart. Plus, we're going to one in a shopping centre that I absolutely abhor. But because I'm already out and about, like I was contemplating going home. I've got stuff to do at home, but I've got tomorrow off as well. And I decided, look, it's nearly lunchtime. You're already out and about. Go and get all your chores done today, and then do batshit tonight, and then knuckle down and have a good day at home tomorrow. Do some more cooking on the YouTubes and stuff. Coming up on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen channel, I'm going to be making a really simple, absolute winner pasta dinner. We're going to do a really yummy tuna pasta that I do sometimes when I'm driving home and I can't think of what I want to eat. Plus, I've been doing a lot of keto lately on the channel, so I want to do a carb-laden motherfucker of a feast. I'm also going to be doing a brunch with zucchini fritters, bacon, probably tomato. Depends what I've got floating around the house. So that's coming up on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. Oh, the bracket's moved. I can't read chat now. I can't really read it when I'm on the highway anyway. So enjoy the sky. Look at that view. Don't know why my phone wouldn't let the screen twist around, but it wouldn't. So here we are on a little vertical angle for a change. the fuck is going on with my phone? I don't know. I'll adjust. Um, yeah, caps help for sure, especially when I thought about it when I went live. I'm not going to be. It's not like when I drive in peak hour traffic and we stop and start. But I just thought I'd go live and chat because I couldn't find anything I wanted to listen to. Well, I could. I found heaps of shit that I could listen to, but I've been at the gym and I'm feeling a bit zen. And it was all stuff that'll make me a bit grumpy because the Kylie Rodney crazy train just keeps chewing around the YouTubes. And there's quite a few channels now that are starting to call it out. And I think, that's a really good thing because in the past, I've been surprised at how channels, go silent when there's a lot of bullshit going on. So I'm relieved to see there's a lot of channels that are calling out the crazy train. Congrats, you got a community tab. I was so excited when I got mine, and I don't use it much. But what I'm gonna do is I've realised that I've got a couple of days off a week, and I'm gonna make one day like YouTube day and treat it a bit like a job and pre-record some cooking stuff to put on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. Get back into the Smooth Criminal podcast and do a show, like an episode a week, and it'll be like a live show. I used to think I was going to then upload it to my platform that I put my podcast on, but I'm actually going to bail from the podcast platform because my podcast just never got any traction over there. And at least on Smooth Criminal, I've got, a couple of hundred subs, so it's worth putting it just on there. Doing a live or two, and then on this channel, depending what I'm up to, it's school holidays at the moment. Oh shit, it's school holidays. Why the fuck am I going to Kmart? Eastlands, or Wastelands as we call it. It's going to be a fucking nightmare. At least I just need to go to Kmart. I've got some stuff. They've got these chopping boards that I really want to get because they're bloody genius, I tell you. My niece who's just built her own home, her first home at 25. All these millennials that say they're never going to be able to own a home. Well, yeah, you can if you do what Jemima did and work your ass off and save and build something realistic. Don't expect to move into a McMansion. But when I went to see her new place, she's got a chopping board, and I was like, oh, my God, where did you get that? It is genius. And one of my bamboo ones, my Scam Pan bamboo ones, is about to split. They don't last forever. I mean, they last a long time, but you probably get like 10 years max out of them. I've seen that name popping up in my notifications heaps, the Debbie Collier. I haven't been following that one. Is there a crazy train for that one too? Because I have seen a lot of channels covering that one as well. But I'm on the calling out the Kylie Rodney crazy train because that one is out of control. But the chopping board, and then I'll talk about Kylie Rodney. When I'm cooking live on YouTube, sometimes I have to put like a tea towel under my chopping boards because I've got a cement bench top and they sort of slide around a bit. And an old sub of mine said to me one day, just stick a tea towel under it and it fixes it. But this chopping board it's literally a chopping board, but on one end, it's got like an inch high, I guess, piece of wood whacked on the end of it, like the long end, the side, I guess, facing down. So it goes the length of the chopping board. It's about an inch deep, and it goes down. And when you're chopping on it, you put it on your bench, and that wooden, the bit of wood holds it in place. and you chop, chop, chop away, and it doesn't move because it's pressed up against the edge of the bench. How clever is that? So that's why I'm going there. But I also need to get a carrier for Sunny Bum. She's got her annual vax due. I'm not going to get one from Kmart. I just want to see what costs they are because I left Biscuits at the vet when Biscuit died, and the girls were going to go and see if they can find it. If they can find it, then that will be Sunny's carrier as well. But if they can't find it, I've got to get a new one. They're going to lend me one because Sunny's super healthy. Like, she literally has an annual checkup and that's it. Well, no. She did have to go to the vet last year because of the flea epidemic that was hideous. Oh, so that Debbie Collier one's a Crazy Train one too, is it? Yeah, I've got too much on at the moment, Cement Shoes. I can only get angry about one thing on YouTube at a time. And for me, it's the Kylie Rodney Crazy Trains chewing all over the place. My God. I did see Johnny dating his lawyer, not Camille, unless there's another rumour that's going around. But yeah, the lawyer that I think she was involved in the UK one as well, wasn't she? I can't remember, but it'll suit him to have a partner with a bit of after marrying that other fucking idiot, that gormless user. Why am I going to Wastelands? This is going to be the worst. Well, no, I'm just going to go into Kmart. Hopefully school holidays, there won't be that many people at Kmart. It's either going to be packed or quiet. Plus, it's the middle of the day. Like, what a fucking tool I am. Never mind. Never mind. And there's a few other things I've got to get. I can't remember what. I've got a list. It's like my monthly trip to Kmart. Probably not monthly, maybe every 6 or 8 weeks. Really, they're not televising Laurie Vallow because I was interested in covering that, but then the Law and Crime Network announced they were going to come down hard on people who streamed their channel after the Depp and Heard. Like, they were great during Depp and Heard, and I get it. I mean, they want traffic to their channel and everything else, but it was a bit of a bummer. So I was going to sort of see if I could find a way to stream it from another platform or whatever, but I'm more interested in calling out the Crazy Train, to be honest, at the moment, because it's really like under my skin. Yeah, your Kmart was different though, weirdly. Like, your Target and our Target are pretty similar, except we don't have a Starbucks out the front of every Target because we don't have Starbucks here. But our Targets are not dissimilar. But the Kmarts are very different. Your Kmart, and this is coming from not only American friends who've been to Australia to an Australian Kmart, but also Aussie friends who live in the US before it closed. Our Kmart's absolutely fantastic. Like, it's the bomb. You do have to acknowledge that the things you're buying have come from developing countries to be able to buy this stuff for so little. Like, it's like if Kmart now in Australia was like it was, if it was like it was now when I was at uni, I would have had a really cool uni house. We wouldn't have had milk crates with crappy old TVs sitting on them and mismatched cutlery and crockery. We would have had, you can pretty much set up your house for $2,000. at Kmart, like getting really nice bed linens and towels and stuff for your kitchen and home decor and cooking stuff. But yeah, so our Kmart is different. It's like well, I actually think Kmart's better than Target these days. I don't actually know the last time I went to Target. Target's in the middle of town, and I'm not in the middle of town very often. Why am I going to wastelands on school holidays? What a fool I am. But yeah, you can buy really groovy shit at the House of K these days. Has Target got really expensive? Our Kmart never had a cafe. We've got 24-hour Kmart though. Tassie loves doing the 24-hour things. We used to have a 24-hour bakery. Like, seriously, the best thing ever when you're out on the piss. And it's time to head home. Pop into the bakery, grab yourself some cheeky little party pies or sausage rolls and a little coffee or an iced coffee or whatever. Address the hangover before you get home. Wake up the next day feeling amazing. And people couldn't believe it when they came in from the mainland. They're like, there's nothing to do in Jersey. It's really quiet. It's fucking cold. What? You've got a 24-hour bakery and Kmart? Holy shit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we do. But we had a Tassie-owned department store called Fitzgerald's, and they had their own little cafe called Fitzy's. Oh, Green Eyes, what I was saying before I went off on a tangent, which I am wanted to do and prone to do, going to Woolies and grab a $30 air fryer. They're ugly, they're the ones with the baskets, and just start mucking around with them. Because to be honest, I actually used the one with the bucket for fries before I used the other one, the bigger one, because I think it does it better. But anyway, yeah, the $30, it was a $30 air fryer that a friend of mine who uses an air fryer every day was like, you've got to go and get one. And I was like, but I don't eat fried food. Like, I was one of those people that didn't think an air fryer was what it is. It really is an air oven that does fried food incredibly well, but it does heaps of other shit really well too. So, on Grant's suggestion, I went into Woolies and just grabbed a $30 basket air fryer. And within 48 hours, I was bewildered by its skills and hooked. And it was really the fact that I couldn't do larger quantities of stuff in it that made me start looking at getting a bigger version. And I figured, well, you know, if it's not great, it's $30, who cares? Best $30 I've ever spent. It was brilliant. It still is brilliant. But yeah, I don't use it as much as the other one. The other one I do most stuff. The other thing I don't think air fryers do as well is toast. I don't own a toaster. I do my toast in my grill. I've got limited bench space. But I did, out of curiosity, try toast in my big air fryer, and it took twice as long as my grill does. I haven't tried toast in the basket one, but I did do a toasted sandwich in there, and it was awesome. The reason there's all this traffic during the day is school holidays. We're going to Barney Doon. I wish they had all gone to fucking Bonnie Doon. All these people are out of town. It's like me, and everyone's driving into the city going, oh, fuck, it's school holidays. Anyway, fortunately, Kmart's relatively close to the entrance. In fact, there might even be, I just know there's one car park I'm not going to park in because I made the mistake just before Christmas last year of parking in it, and it took me an hour and a half to get out of it, and it's not an enclosed car park, it's a flat car park out the side of Kmart and out the side of Wastelands. Nobody lets you in or out. You just sit there watching cars inching by you, past you, and nobody lets you in. They're all bumper to bumper and they don't give a fuck about you, and they don't let anyone in because they've all been sitting there inching along for an hour already, so they don't want to slow their trip down any further. Oh, Chico rolls. Ugh. But, you know, you could have grabbed one of those at the 24-hour bakery on your way home. People that love those things love them. I had a bad experience with a Chico roll. I ate it, and then I got on the octopus, one of the rides at, what did that thing used to be called? It was like a summer festival in Hobart Fiesta. And I proceeded to throw the whole thing up all over me, and I've never eaten one ever again. Had a similar experience with a pasty. I'm not really a chucker-upper, but weirdly, as a younger girl, on only 2 occasions, I threw up pastries on show rides. Never threw up a Dagwood dog, funnily enough. Oh, should we go to the model train show or the military history fair? I think not. But how dare people say there's nothing to do in Tassie? A military fair and a model train show, I mean, hello. What more do you want? Still keen to take you to the new maze as well, but that'll be after school holidays. Because, yeah, I've got no desire to put myself in a maze with a shitload of kids. But that live, I'm hoping that Deb Tuttle, who's in chat sometimes, and I can do it. And I'll send her a StreamYard link on her phone and she can jump up on the panel. And I'm going to have 2 fully charged battery packs with me that we can plug into our phones, because it probably will take us more than an hour, and you guys will be able to send us off in different directions. And I've already got a feeling one of you sneaky buggers will go on Google Earth or whatever and send me in the wrong direction. Hey, Scott. There's Belrive Oval up in front. Anyone who's into AFL and cricket in Australia, Blunston Arena, just over there by the beach. So if I turned right here, I would be entering the car park from Hill. That car park where that red car just went, it's so weird. People just do not let you in or out. We're actually going undercover, because you do eventually get out of this one at least. You took a shower, so I won't smell you. Well, I've just been at the gym, so you might smell me. No, I've cooled down. I'm not stinker-rinker. But yeah, I reckon if I aim to park up the end, should have got my car washed while I was here. Actually, that park. Wait a minute. I'm going to go back here, because the entry, there's a little sneaky side entry into Kmart. and I can use a little sneaky side entry and then run out and escape. Sure will, since you gave the idea. What idea? Oh, the Google Earth on the. Well, apparently that's what I initially thought you grooves would do, but according to friends of mine who recently did it, it's like a what's the word? Like a scavenger hunt, except that you have to identify animals that are sort of hidden throughout the maze, and then if you get the animal right, it sends you off in the right direction or something. I don't know. Deb and I will find out, but that'll be fun. And there's a wooden maze and a hedge maze. I love a maze. Deb and I are just hoping that there's a pop-up margarita bar in the middle of it. But guys, I'm going to go into the House of K. Where's my shopping list? Do not tell me that I have come here. Oh no, I brought my diary. It's in my diary, I think. I need to put it on the piece of paper. You smell like ocean breeze. How like a fart over the ocean. How delightful. I got lost in one at Hampton Court as a child. Yeah, the previous one that they've replaced. So I've got to get a plastic placemat for Sunny because I use little cloth placemats that look really cute because they're very beachy. They're a really pale, like they're a blue and white stripe and very funky looking. But she's an absolute pig and I'm sick of washing them. So I'm getting her hopefully a plastic placemat. I'm going to get a chopping board. I'm going to see what their cat carriers are like. I also need to get a new drink bottle because this one, which I love, but it's battered. It's so battered that it doesn't stand upright anymore. And I keep forgetting. And wherever I go, I put it on a counter and it slams, it tips over and makes a loud noise. And people hate it, including me. That's all I've got to get. And I've got to head home. I've got stuff at the post office to pick up. Woohoo! Oh, we'll be live tonight with Batshit 45, I think. So if you're looking for something fun to do tonight, come and hang out at Batshit 45. Tomorrow I'll be going live cooking on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen channel, and I'll also be going live bitching about the Kylie Rodney Crazy Train. I don't like putting her name in the Crazy Train part of it, but after hearing another Crazy Train channel today saying, and all of you channels who are calling us out, you're just not putting in an effort and trying to get to the bottom of the matter and doing your research. And it's like, it'll be 8:30, Green Eyes, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's like, no, I will do my research when there are facts to research, but until then, I'm going to call your crap out because you are all fuckwits. And the next time you say you're doing it for Kylie, you want justice for Kylie, but in the same breath, you're slamming everybody who loved her and is grieving for her. Where's the justice in that? And what justice? At the moment, there's no official criminal investigation. Actually, I don't know where Miss K is, but Miss K and I were chatting the other day, and She thinks it's a case, whereas I keep calling it a story because I don't call it a case. But I should have clarified, and I don't know if I did enough. But what I meant was a criminal case. Like, it hasn't been announced that it's a formal, official criminal investigation. It's been announced that they are looking at it. The California Highway Patrol are looking at it as a car accident, and the police department is looking into whether or not there was foul play. But it hasn't been officially announced that it is a criminal investigation. And that's what I was, the distinction I was trying to make, why I'm refusing to call it a case. Obviously, it's a case for the cops because they're investigating, but it's not an official criminal case. So I love you, Miss Kay. And if anyone sees her, let her know that's what I was talking about. Otherwise, I'll let her know when she's next in a live. Yeah, it's totally their justification for being shit cunts. I mean, the only real justice for Kylie at the moment is that she would still be alive. That really is the only justice for Kylie at the moment. But they're all validating this horrible, analysing every word that comes out of people's mouths, and because people aren't grieving the way they would, or because they wouldn't let their 16-year-old daughter go to a party in the woods, etc., they're being incredibly judgmental. They're not researching facts. They are analysing the information that's out there at the moment and making it suit their agenda that there's foul play. Yeah, me too, Green Eyes. So I think we just keep, I'm going to keep calling it out. And this asshole on the crazy train saying all of the channels calling us out a waste of space. No, we're pointing out what a waste of space you guys are. But not only that, you're doing it at the expense of a 16-year-old girl and her friends and family who must be in the most unbearable pain and grief right now. It's justice for Kylie. Well, if it's announced that it's a criminal investigation and someone responsible for her death is on the run, fair enough. But until then, no. Yep, keep calling them out. And there are things you can do. I know that there's a channel calling them out who has suggested it's a really good idea too. Some of them have got ads. You blocked, yeah, I blocked from shitloads of them as well. A lot of them have ads because, they're not in it for the money, are they? Nothing like slamming ads in the middle of a live about a deceased 16-year-old over and over and over again. But one thing you can do is there was a time when true crime channels really didn't attract a lot of advertising. It's not really the genre that many products want their products to be advertised on. But a lot of these people are slamming ads into their lives. And one thing you can do is start contacting those companies and say, do you know that your ads are being played on these channels that are essentially making a lot of money coming up with crazy theories about what happened to a deceased 16-year-old? Is this something you think suits your brand? Just thought I'd let you know that your ad just popped up in the middle of this Crazy Train live on YouTube, where they are completely disrespecting the friends and family of this kid who lost her life, tragically. Because if companies start pulling their ads or saying they don't want their ads on these channels, YouTube was going to sit up and pay attention because that's how they make money too. Good work, Scott. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, they're horrible about the victim. They're horrible about the victim's friends and family, and they're horrible about people in chat that stand up and say, hang on, guys, this isn't cool. "200 F-bombs. Well, they're good for emphasis. All these channels calling us out. We just want justice for Kylie, really, by ripping everyone she cared about to shreds, by putting your judgment on them because they do and say things differently to how you would. It's not about you. Oh my God, and all the people in chat that go, if it was my child, I'd want to know the truth. Well, it's not your child, and it's quite possible her parents do know the truth. So, your point? If it was my child, I wouldn't have let her go to that party in the first place. Well, it wasn't your child. Your point? Oh, it's absolute bullshit. And the people that keep flocking in day after day after day to listen to this bullshit are bullshit too. Hate to say it, but all the subscribers that roll on in and throw money and call these creators geniuses. What the hell? Nothing like YouTube hyperbole to get me irritated. Really? You think someone on YouTube who's got the time to go live for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, theorising about something at the moment that is not worth theorising about till there's more facts out there. And like I said, we'll talk about it when there are more facts. Look, they can send them to my channel to troll me. Bring it on. In fact, I'd love it because my channel's shadow banned. So if they start sending trolls to me, brilliant. I'll get back on the algorithm and away I go. Bring it on. Didn't think about that. Every cloud has a silver lining, Scott. And I don't give a shit about trolls. Oh, hello, Medicine Man. I've missed you. Peace be with you too, gorgeous. We've missed you on batshit coming in at the last minute to vote. Truly, we've missed not seeing you, Finn and I. Thank you for popping in. Exactly, let her rest. And that's what I've put, one of my and I feel awful putting her name in my title, but I don't know how I can get around it without putting it in there because I'm not the only one, and it's so refreshing that there's so many channels that are calling this stuff out too, because in the past I've been so confused when things have been happening on YouTube, and I'm the only one that seems to be talking about it and asking why nobody else is. So I'm so excited to see people are starting to speak out. And they should, because this is a 16-year-old who had the world at her feet and could have honestly been anything or done anything she wanted to. Like, she legit could. She wasn't one of those kids that really had no potential at all and her parents told her she could do and be everything. She was that kid. She graduated 2 years earlier than her peers. She sang like an angel. She was beautiful. Like, this kid had a very exciting life ahead of her. You've been on holiday. Well, how delightful. That was my point too, Cement Shoes, which is why I kept saying it's not a case, it's a story. And Miss Kay rightly so said, look, I disagree with you. It is a case just because there's nothing new. It doesn't mean it's not still being investigated. But it was kind of a semantics debate because in terms of it being a case that the police are investigating, yeah, absolutely it's a case. What I meant was it's not a criminal case yet, and it may never be. And if it's not, you wait. You wait. If they do rule it was an accident, these channels are going to continue going live and it's going to be horrific. It's going to be horrific, and it's going to be another one of those cases, and there aren't that many since I landed in the YouTube sphere I had a little YouTube channel, and not that I did anything on it, but I used to be on YouTube for a long time, like most of us. But in terms of going live and stuff, like, it was Chris Watts where I first rolled on in, and since then there really have only been a handful of cases that all of these channels Discuss. Chris Watts, Summer Wells, Gabby Petito, Kylie Rodney. There was a little bit of Letitia Stout, and there was a little bit of those little twin boys, the little brothers. There's a little bit of, Laurie Vallow, but none of them are anywhere like these ones. These are the 4 cases that I can think of the top of my head that have just been flogged for months and months and then years and years. And this one, if Kylie's death is ruled an accident, there will be channels still going live analysing every fucking thing for years to come. And even sadder, there will be hundreds and thousands of subscribers rolling in to participate in this. Well, meanwhile, there are genuine missing cases, cold cases, and stories that people could be looking into and potentially making something happen, bringing about a change, finding something critical that leads to a guilty conviction or a location of a missing person. But no, they won't investigate and invest their time in that, because even if they have dipped their toes in that world, they would have learned very quickly there's no money in it for them. And that's the brutal truth of it. I know, Scott, but you mention them every time you come in here. You're feeling like my little gang stalker. I mean, I don't actually understand what that means, but I mean, well, I do. I guess it's like a group of people coming in, but look, to be honest, if I got to a point where I felt that I was getting that sort of unwanted attention too much, I'd create an alternative YouTube persona if I wanted to stay on the platform, or I'd bail from it. I don't know how else you get them off your back, but I'm also of the view now that if anyone went to the effort to fly all the way to Tasmania to find me and make my life hell, I'd almost be flattered. So they can do what they want to me online. I really do not care. There's really nothing they can do that online. So what? I mean, I've grown up in the public eye, so I'm used to my personal life being out on display for everyone to see. So it wouldn't be a shock for me if I ended up being doxxed or anything like that. Well, half of them, well, not even half, the majority of them don't even leave their houses. And I'm not having a go at the ones that are housebound. I know that there are many people online that are housebound, and I think it's fantastic that social media gives them a platform to explore the outside world. Like, I think that's incredible. I'm talking about the people that could actually get jobs and get out and about and do shit with their lives who choose not to, because why would they, when just turning the go live button on YouTube is lucrative enough for them that they don't have to work? If only we could be so blessed. No, I get it, Scott. I wasn't downplaying it. Like, I know it's affecting you. I just don't know how to fix it, or other than using. I mean, I've used alts where in situations where in the past a creator has been discussing something and I want to participate in the discussion, but it's not necessarily a great community or great chat because people have been doxxed and harassed and stalked. And so I've just gone in there as an alt account and kept my identity hidden. Sometimes people work out it's me, though, because unfortunately I crack jokes and there's not that many funny people on YouTube. But yeah, VPN and an alt, if I want to go and talk in a chat that I know is prone for dodgy shit to happen, and you can always talk about it here, Scott. It's just something I don't know what the best options for you are. It seems to be an ongoing issue. Have you tried doing an alt? I don't think they do get up for work, green eyes. Oh, thank you, Medicine Man. You're so sweet. Peace be with you, Groover. They don't have our sense of humour. No, we stand out like dog's balls. But even when I've been trolling, it's for humorous reasons. I have never been a troll to be horrible. I've been a troll to be funny, like back when I was one of the cooters. But yeah, it was pretty apparent who we were because, again, there's not that many, like, funny people stick out like dog's balls on YouTube, in YouTube lives and chats and stuff. But you're always welcome here, Scott, and, you know, if I could do or say something that would make you feel better, I would. I just don't know. Other than suggesting things like getting away from that community is a really good thing to do too. Like, eventually they'll move on. And look, it might be, like I said, Scott, I don't know that much about it. I'm not downplaying what you're going through. I just don't know how to fix it. I don't know, yeah. Me too, Cement Shoes. That's why you and I clicked when I met you. The funny people find each other on the tubes. Scott's hilarious too, when he's not talking about gang trolls. No, what are they? Gang stalkers. Scott has some superb one-liners. But cyber laws are changing every day and platforms are starting to have to take more responsibility and, you know, like a platform like YouTube having terms and conditions, terms of service that are largely ignored for the, you know, the bigger money-making channels and stuff, that's all going to have to shift. And it's things like that creator suggested where you contact brands that have been advertised on these channels and just say to them, do you know that your product is being advertised in the middle of a 9-hour live on a channel of a chick who's speculating about the death of a 16-year-old and being incredibly disrespectful towards her, her family, her friends? Is that where you want your product promoted? I'm sorry to hear that, Scott. And look, you're always welcome to hang out here. You're not going to get that kind of crap happening here. I can guarantee that. The benefit of hanging out in shadow ban channels is hardly anyone knows about us. And that's about as safe as you can get online. And nothing online is ever safe. Gotcha. And yeah, I'm sorry that you're going through it. But you're a survivor. You know, it's something you've mentioned for a few, well, I don't know how many long have I known you? A year maybe. And you're still here. So you are winning, even though it may not feel like it. But on that note, I'm going to head into potentially shopping hell and go and get the few bits and pieces I need. And then I'm going to head back home. I've got to go to the vet and book Sunny in and grab a carry case thing for her. I've got stuff at the post office, yay, to pick up. And I'll see some of you grievers tonight with Batshit, hopefully. Thanks, Green Eyes. Thanks, Scott. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Medicine Man, great to see you. Take care, everyone, and yeah, just have a think about some of the ways we can take on these channels, because we're not going to be able to change masses of people's minds on stuff. There's no point in us just screaming out that these people are irresponsible, because unfortunately, according to a human behavioralist I listen to on YouTube, when you get the masses rolling in all the time and throwing super chats and all of that, it'll be 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll set the live up when I get back home and you'll be able to click the reminder, Cement Shoes, and maybe set your alarm. So, yeah, we've got to think of alternative ways to make a bit of a difference with what's going on YouTube. And YouTube really needs to start to be a bit more discerning as well, because if advertisers start contacting them saying, I don't want my ads played during this bullshit, YouTube might actually start to take things a little bit more seriously. You're setting your alarm now. Good work, Groover. Okay, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I'm going to go shopping because this is a run in and run out. There are school children out in the wild, and I want to limit my exposure. So I will see you all again very soon. Take care, Groovers.